Because people always assume my first love is boomer shooters, but it's actually CRPGs. Fallout 1, Baldur's Gate, that kind of stuff. So that's still the dream project.
Yeah, we got Jim, who's actually the developer of the BioCrisis, kind of like that.
Yeah, Jim, love Jim. Yeah, fucking by Return to the Lab, dude. I've talked about publishing that, man. I was like, listen, I would love to work. I love doing fun shit. So I've told Jim, I was like, if we can ship it with our own New Blood branded light guns in a physical edition,
I'd buy it.
It comes with like, because you can get those Sinden light guns and shit like that, and they have to be the ones that kick back, like the proper ass one. I would totally do I would totally work on BioCrisis. BioCrisis 2 looks sick. Shout out Jim. BioCrisis 2, I'm surprised it's not out yet. That's the thing. Like, I would love to work on everybody's games with them. I just don't have the time. It's not like a resource thing. It's a hours in the day thing. It's like, oh, that's right, I have to finish like Ultrakill and Gloomwood and like our actual game. I can't like go and work on everybody's games. Maybe once I'm retired, I'll like do some shit like that.
When you're in your War Inspector era,
game dev floater,
just kind of. So, Jim is wanting to know.
Yeah, question. Sorry, Jim.
Like the DVD pop-ups that keep coming up. Okay, so he's asks or states and then asked, New Blood is making a lot of different games, from FPS to retro exorcism, which I guess he means faith, to Fallout likes. What type of games do you want to explore next?
I mean, we're already doing exploring next. I'm not like a person that wants to like, because like I'll never make like a 4X strategy game or something like that, because I don't even know how to wrap my head around making a game like that, nor do I care. The stuff that we do is kind of like we started with the retro shooters, then kind of expanded to stealth immersive sims, and then doing like the retro horror stuff, and then the CRPG. We've talked about doing a car combat game, and like a dating sim and stuff like that. But like it's just kind of variations on the same themes. It's not really like there's not no wild departures, like we're not gonna do like you're not going to see us doing like a Command and Conquer style game or like a flight sim.
No VR dating sims.
Something.
Yeah.
Like if we wanted to make money, we just do like a co-op survival crafting game. Those are literally free money. It's so what's next is just doing what we're doing. To be honest, like once we get this next slate of games out, including our top-down shooter, which I don't talk about too much, but we've shown that off for a few years.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of like I'm looking forward to retiring. I'm gonna be by the time our games are out, I'll be closing on 45, 46. I'm trying to be retired by 50. So after
that's exactly my plan as well. 50.
Yeah, it'll be up to I have no plans to sell New Blood or fucking hand it over to anybody else. I'll just shut it down, put a little pin in it, and be like, thanks, that was a fun 20 years.
Yeah, speaking of the type of games that New Blood do, then that Space Pirate via Blue Sky is asking, how do you choose which games that you want to publish as part of New Blood?
Yeah, so I mean, we're not really a publisher anymore as much as like a full-on studio. We're like 40 people at this point, and we make everything ourselves. I mean, there are exceptions, like like Tenebrosomnia. Like I've known those guys for years. I've known Andres and Tobias for years, since they were working on lots of other stuff, and like it just came about where I was like, man, this is too cool to pass up.
Yeah,
like this
is some cool shit.
And the fact that Faith was like their main inspiration, it felt like a really cool. And also, like, I think in like trilogies now, I'm like, cool, we got a shooter trilogy, we've got a stealth trilogy now with Blood West. I'm like, fuck it, we can have a horror trilogy, because it's really good for merchandising and stuff. So like, there's always exceptions with stuff like Tenebrosomnia, but for the most part, it's just been like people. I've never gone out and looked for games. Like they come to us, So like with Ultrakill, like Hakita like emailed me for 2 years asking me to work on his game, and I was like, and then I finally played it, and I was like, oh shit. So and like with stuff like Gloomwood, like Dylan was helping on Dusk. David brought Dylan in to help with the ending of Dusk, and he was like, by the way, do you want to work on my game called Gloomwood? And he pitched it to me. I was like, yo, this is great. This is like Thief. Yes, let's do this. Like with a Medieval, those guys have been working at Interceptor Slipgate on Bombshell and whatever, and then they just came to me and they were like, hey, we're working on this Heretic style thing. Do you want to work on this with us? And that was a Medieval, so it's just been like friends kind of coming and showing me their ideas and then sticking around. And that's just kind of how, like, New Blood's never really had like a game plan, or like we don't accept pitches, even though I get them every single day. I don't know where people are getting our email from. So like, yeah, we've never been like a traditional publisher, even though we were trying to be like a publisher for a while. Now we're like a full-on studio that just kind of, we do our own porting, our own publishing, our own QA, our own development. So we're just a full-on studio at this point. But in terms
Great
of like,
things come from humble beginnings.
yeah, in terms of like what we look for, it's like I don't look for anything, just dope shit. Like, there's a thing that I like to say, where it's like, a New Blood game is a New Blood game because it only could have ever been a New Blood. Like, if you see one of our games, you're like, no, that could not have been anything but a New Blood game.
So did you become a publisher for Blood West?
Huh? Yeah, so like Blood West was interesting because like it was out already. It was very out from Hyper Strange, and we liked it. And it's funny because people just assume it was always a New Blood game now because we good at that market. But people there was people that thought like it was a New Blood game even before. And I've been friends with Millie and the Hyper Strange dudes for a long time. And he kind of hit me up because he was like, "Hey, we're kind of in a tight spot. We're looking for funding for our next thing. Would you be like?" And he's like, "But I have a crazy idea." He's like, "Do you want to like become the publisher of Blood West and like buy like half of it?" And I was like, "How much? What you like? Let's make a deal." And it was like, "Yes, sure, let's do it." And like I love the idea. First of all, like, and he's like, "Oh," and he's like, "By the way, we have a DLC that's like pretty much ready to go." And I was like, "Oh, Dead Man's Promise." And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And I was like, it was cool because it immediately allowed us to have a stealth trilogy. It paired really well with the Gloomwood and Fallen Aces. It's the kind of thing like, if you New Blood, I got data from, I don't know if you read the Game Discover newsletter, gamediscover.co by Simon. Really great newsletter if you love Steam data and all that shit. And he's like, I pulled the data on your games, and it's really weird because most companies, don't have it. Like the average person that owns one of your games owns like 4 of your games, and that's like unheard of. I'm like, well, yeah, like if you own one New Blood game, you probably fucking
I need the whole collection.
It also helps that they're affordable. Helps that they're affordable.
Yeah. Well, because you're well, I don't know if you Faith on Switch too, $90. $1 per pixel. That's on Faith. But yeah, so it's like, because they're all like, if you like one of our games, you're gonna probably like them all, or at least in the trilogies. Like, if you like Blood West, you're gonna like Gloomwood. If you like Gloomwood, you're gonna like Fallen Ace. Like, if you like Dusk, you're gonna like Medieval. If you like the Medieval and Dusk, you're probably gonna like Ultra Kill. If you like Faith, you're definitely gonna like Tenebrae Somnia. And there's it's that kind of thing where we've always kept it like that. A lot of publishers or whatever, indie publishers, they're the games, it looks like they're just throwing shit at like just whatever popular shit they could try to find at a wall that sticks, and there's no cohesion to it. There's no like, oh, if I like one game from Devolver, I'll like all the games from Devolver. Well, that sure as hell ain't true. Their games are all over the place. I mean, whatever, they're like a multi-billion-dollar corporate fucking publicly traded company now, but like, even back in the day, it's like, oh, I really like Hotline Miami. Will I like all the other games that they publish? It's like, I don't know, they're all over the place. It's like, if I like Hotline Miami, it doesn't mean I'm going to like Talos Principle. I mean, that's a great game, but like very different games. With New Blood, like everything is very much in
from
the same...
serious.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll start from... Dude, did you see that? So speaking of data, it's, same newsletter. Apparently, Serious Sam 3 is still hard carrying Devolver like 10 years later. Like, it just still tells tons
it's
of copies.
Underrated.
Like 99 God bless Sam 3. Sam 4 was super underrated, man. So, and then the
Siberian Mayhem's where it's at.
Siberian Mayhem.
That's great. That's great.
Expansion is the best Serious Sam that has come out ever. Higher fans, kind of.
Hell yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah.
I hope
don't know.
they get them to make more games. 100%.
Well, because the regular coaches now like seem like they're fully Talos Principle, and I'm like, Talos Principle is cool, but it's really just not for me. And I'm sure they sell really well because they're puzzle games, Unreal 5, blah blah blah. But like, man, like if they hire the Siberian Mayhem guys to make Sam 5 or whatever, fucking, I'm all about it.
Oh, it would be fantastic. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.